Britons are furious at Nicola Sturgeon's attempt to keep Scotland locked within European Union rules in a bid to enhance the prospect of rejoining the bloc in the future. The Scottish National Party leader told a think tank event in the Belgian capital that she will propose new devolved legislation to mirror Brussels regulations north of the border. Ms. Sturgeon said, "The right to diverge will come at a cost, a very cost. And in my view, a cost that is too heavy. We're also looking in Scotland to what we can do within our devolved powers to maintain as close as possible ties with Europe. For example, we will attempt to introduce legislation that enables Scotland to keep pace with EU regulatory standards where we have the power to do so. It is a way in which we can protect the health and well-being of people in Scotland, maintain the international reputation of businesses in Scotland and make it easier when the time comes, as I believe it will, for Scotland to return to the European Union." However, the plan has caused anger amongst Britons. One Facebook user blasted the Scottish First Minister's response saying, "Look, Nicola, the Westminster Parliament is sovereign, meaning that it has the power to shut down any or all of the devolved assemblies. You could find that you'll lose the devolved powers which you want to misuse." Another furious Briton said, she has to acquire permission from Westminster to actually hold a referendum first. Never going to happen. A third Facebook user posted, "Losing the Barnett formula will plunge the country into a deep recession unless of course other EU states offer aid, and somehow I can't see that." Others pointed out the national debt issue if Scotland were to leave the United Kingdom. One said, "Can't see the EU making amendments to its criteria to join the EU just so Scotland can join, unless she somehow manages to the national debt from 17% to 10% as some are led to believe. Good luck with that one." Another user pointed out the difficulties of a border between Scotland and England. They said, "Does she not realise that there would need to be border crossings, a change of currency?" Ms. Sturgeon was in Brussels as she met with Michel Barnier to outline her stance on Brexit. She has vowed to hold a new Scottish independence referendum before the country then rejoins the EU. She added, "There is goodwill towards Scotland in Europe. We want to build on that goodwill in order to outline a clear route to that accession and to demonstrate we have much." Ms. Sturgeon believes she will eventually be able to secure a second Scottish independence referendum because of an overwhelming support for EU membership north of the border. The SNP leader said she would only organise a ballot with a sound legal basis to avoid any international security, such as the Catalonian referendum of 2017, which was deemed illegal by the Spanish government. She said, "I've made very clear I'm interested in having a legal referendum on a sound legal basis so that the outcome of it is accepted domestically and internationality. I think people look at the impasse between the UK and the Scottish governments and say that will never be broken, but I do not believe that is the case. We continue to see demand for that choice to grow. Ultimately you cannot stand in the way of that clear democratic choice." But she also revealed she will attempt to convince the government to strike a close relationship with Brussels. The Scottish Government will do what we can to work as closely and constructively as possible with the Prime Minister despite our pessimism over the direction of travel. He's taking on Brexit.